James Bovard, author of Terrorism and Tyranny. Near the end of your book on page 349, you say this: since 9/11, Bush often seems blinded by the glare of his own halo. The moral self-adulation at the heart of the war on terrorism is a danger both to America and the world.
George Bush, when he was campaigning in 2000, made some very good points about how America needed to be more humble. But after 9/11, Bush was put on a pedestal. He was portrayed not only as a national savior, but as a world savior. And flattery ruins more politicians than sex. And I think that Bush has been surrounded by flatterers since 9/11, that he's not been well informed. And that's part of the reason why so many of his policies have been horrendous blunders, both for the U.S. and other parts of the world.
Did you vote for him?
No. Actually, I did not vote for him. I did do a book called Feeling Your Pain, The Explosion and Abuse of Government Power in the Clinton-Gore years that came out in September 2000. I was very opposed to Mr. Gore. I was not in favor of Mr. Bush. Actually, 2000 was the first time in a long time I did not vote for any candidate.
Well, before we get into your theories and all on the terrorism thing, where are you coming from? Would you put a label on yourself?
I guess moderate wouldn't work. On some issues I'm conservative, some I'm liberal. A lot of issues I'm libertarian. I'm more libertarian than not on most issues, but I'm not lockstep libertarian.
Give me an example of something that you're liberal on.
Civil liberties. I'm very hardcore. I'm very opposed to the drug war. I'm opposed to the notion the government needs to run people's private lives. I'm opposed to the notion the government needs to ride shotgun on people's moral decisions. I'm opposed to the notion the government needs to add meaning to people's lives.
Where are you conservative?
I'm in favor of strictly limited government power. I'm in favor of a strict interpretation of the Constitution, especially the Bill of Rights, putting very clear limits on government powers and government abuses. I'm a big fan of the Second Amendment. I think that was put in the Constitution in order to provide one check for government against abuses of government power, one check in the people's hands. So that's.
Can you remember a president that you liked?
Ronald Reagan in the campaign in 1980 and in his early part in his first term, I was impressed by. I especially liked some of his rhetoric. He was very honest. He would talk about how government is the problem, how government has far too much power. He had just wonderful images in a lot of his speeches. And, he seemed to have a clear vision of what the problem was and what had to be done in order to fix it. I also supported Reagan's harsh anti-Soviet line, because I think he was very perceptive on the danger the Soviets posed, unlike a lot of other people across the political spectrum.
Where are you libertarian, and what does that mean?
Libertarian is basically, maybe the best thumbnail is a Thomas Jefferson quote that government is best, which governs least. And I'm in favor of minimizing government power, minimizing government spending, and minimizing government intrusions, basically because the government doesn't know best. And the government does not own the American people. If you listen to some of the debates here in Washington, it's almost as if the politicians are trying to decide how to use their chattel slaves. As far as, well, let's take $50 billion more from these people, and let's give $100 billion more to this country or that country, this project. It's not the politicians' money, and that's one of the most profound dangers in contemporary American democracy. I mean, the politicians often act like they have the right to dispose of the earnings of the American people, and they don't.